In my hand, I have a copy of the Standing Committee report on coal, which is extremely controversial. In my view, it puts question marks over both the BJP and the UPA, but that is my perspective. And we'll be debating that with Dr. Abhishek Singhvi of the Congress and Piyush Goyal of the BJP in a couple of minutes. But it's possibly the first time that leaders of both the ruling party and the opposition have been caught on the back foot together. The findings of the Standing Committee on coal and steel has come down very heavily on both the UPA and the NDA. The question now is, with both sides put in the dock, who will they pass the buck on to this time? My first question is to Dr. Singhvi. Dr. Singhvi, you know, what happened to the zero loss theory? I remember Jaiswal's, famous zero loss theory, where he said, I don't agree with the calculations of the CAG. And he went on to say that if coal is not mined, where is the loss?
No, I thought that was Mr. Chidambaram. Coal is in the womb of Mother Earth.
No, Jaiswal said in the joint press conference when Chidambaram was there, and Jaiswal repeat this, Chidambaram said if coal is not mined, if coal remains buried in Mother Earth, where is the loss? So broadly the same argument. Would you tonight want to concede that this zero loss theory has again been proven wrong? Dr. Singhvi.
Let me start by saying, Arnab, that there is an interesting conundrum here. Apart from one view that the BJP and the Congress was in the wrong, as far as pure policy is concerned, can we just look at it a little differently and consider that perhaps both were right as far as policy is concerned? Because from 93 till now, right or wrong, both have functioned under a particular policy. By a 2013 wisdom by hindsight, you may consider that policy not efficient enough, not effective enough, not getting the largest revenue, but that does not make the action under a prevailing policy wrong, illegal, corrupt or otherwise void. And therefore, I think that's the first point to be understood. We can all change the policy, and we perhaps should change the policy. Personally, I believe, Arnab, that this first come, first serve rule in the Act itself should have been changed decades ago. Personally, I believe that the mining law is in a mess and a statutory change is required. And we all know that the statute has been on the book for a fairly long time. But till such time it is changed, the fact of the matter is that from 93 till now, a certain policy has been followed, and I don't accept that.
Sir, you are today saying, your argument is very simple.
Number two.
What you are doing, doing, Dr. Singhvi, with greatest of respect, is you are throwing an olive branch at the BJP live on the news. And you are saying that we were both, let's agree we were both right, let's attack the media for the interpretation.
I'm not going to agree with that.
First of all, to those you are throwing the olive branch to, their response.
We completely disassociate with this kind of thinking. We believe...
What do you think Dr. Singhvi is doing?
We believe the situation changed between 93 and 2003. There was a particular situation. Around the end of 2003, coal prices worldwide suddenly spiked, and you saw that demand had picked up, and there was more demand than what the availability was, and that's when the situation changed and more transparency and more competitive processes needed to be brought in.
Twisting the argument.
No, not at all. Here I
have
reading,
the copy of the report.
I'm sorry, may I read from the report?
May I
read what the Government of India,
may I read from the Standing
Government of India Ministry of Coal put out on 17th August 2012.
Let me read out what is more fresh.
Let me read out what is very relevant.
Let me read out the Standing Committee
report. What is relevant.
I throw one question at you, after that you can. Okay. My point to you is, my accusation is, as per the Standing Committee report, Piyush Goyal, to both the Congress and the BJP, the entire process is shrouded in secrecy. To the BJP specifically, lack of transparency. To the Congress, no auction, no revenue generation. Let me quote and say, the committee observes the most non-transparent procedure adopted from 1990 to 2000 for allocation and supply of blocks. Several coal blocks allocated to a few fortunates without disclosing the name to the public at large. The natural resources and state largesse were distributed to a few fortunates for their own benefit without following any transparent system. Would you at least plead that the system you followed was most non-transparent?
No, absolutely wrong, because you don't know the genesis of the
I am quoting the report.
genesis I will read out to you.
Then you are rejecting the report.
I'm rejecting it to the
Then you're
extent
rejecting
it
the
refers
report.
to the 93 to 2004 period.
How do you
and my colleague on the standing committee, Smriti Irani,
Sir,
has already sent a note of dissent on this report.
How can you reject a report and then use the report to ask for the Prime Minister's resignation?
I'm reading out from the government's own statement. Now hear me out.
Which date is this?
The government on 17th August 2012.
Sir, that's very old compared to what I have in mind.
17th August 2012 is 7 months ago,
Sir,
my friend.
it's a lifetime. I've got a standing committee report.
But here I'm substantiating the difference. Why 2004 is different.
Why are you pulling out an August report when I am giving you the standing committee report?
Let me finish.
No, is this report authentic or
you must be
inauthentic?
willing to listen also sometimes.
Sure, but
right?
you must understand that this is a standing committee report we are debating.
So I'll explain where their problem comes from.
No, but you accept the report.
No, I don't. I'll explain to you what the problem is.
But you asked for the Prime Minister's resignation
We
based on
are,
this report.
but I'm explaining that why the difference is 2004. See, the
Briefly,
government...
and then I'm going to go back.
Yeah, the government says in this statement from the Press Information Bureau, which you must have read, between 93 and June 2004, 39 coal blocks were allocated. And now note this, Arnab. Initially, there was not much demand for such allocation, and the applicants themselves used to identify coal blocks and apply for allocation. Later on, due to increase in number of applications and to ensure consistency, a consolidated set of guidelines was evolved in November 2003.
Let Abhishek Singhvi.
So what I'm saying is,
Abhishek Singhvi.
1 minute, up to November 2003, the demand was so little as acknowledged by them that there was no need for any different procedure.
I think he understood the question.
When the time came, these guys, the government in power in 2004, failed the nation.
Dr. Singhvi, you know...
That is the difference between 2004
I disagree. I disagree.
You may choose to disagree. This is the government's own statement.
Well, that's an old statement. I gave you a new
old or new, it's a fact.
Abhishek Singhvi, I believe you're a parliamentarian. You should believe in the parliament report. Dr. Singhvi.
Yeah, very interesting. I find the BJP stand getting curiouser and curiouser like Alice in Wonderland. Now look at this amazing set of contradictions. Number one, look at the inconsistency in the BJP stand. At least you will give me some merit for consistency. They don't agree to a very pointed question. There is an admission. They don't agree with the standing committee. And yet they demand the Prime Minister's resignation.
I said that.
On the basis of a report which they don't agree. Secondly, let me complete. 1 minute. Secondly,
okay, let him complete.
Everything is going hunky-dory. It is to be ignored till 2003. Magically in 2003, because of a spike in prices, everything which happens after 2003 under the same policy is wrong. Magically, everything which happens prior to 2003 under the same policy is right. This kind of tails I win, heads I also win is something which only the BJP can do with a straight face. The exact argument is that prior to 2003, everything we did under the very same policy was okay, but suddenly because of a fact which we introduced, namely price rising, as if prices have never risen of coal earlier, or that they rose miraculously in May 2004 when the Congress came in.
Sir, do you disagree with the...
Here is the price chart. I have the price chart, Abhishek ji. The price chart shows that right up to August 2003, coal prices were steady at $20, $20 to $22. August 2003 to August 2004,
I have a simple
it rose to $60.
I have a simple question. You have come with, what is that, Australian thermal month?
You can take from any index.
Fine.
August 2003, the coal prices started rising. Therefore, the demand for coal blocks came in.
My question is fundamental tonight. Will the Congress party accept on the news that as per the standing committee report, there was a loss? Because my reading of the report tells me that the standing committee concurs that there has been a revenue loss, albeit it does not put a figure to it.
I'll give you an honest answer.
Yes, honest answer.
I'll give you an honest answer, Arnab. Honest answer. The answer is yes and no.
Come on.
Yes. You apply. Can I answer?
That's a very...
Yes, if you start thinking that a 2013 conclusion should have been applied in 93, 94, 2004, yes, then it is right. But I believe that a 2013 conclusion can only and should only be applied prospectively. And therefore, while you can always say, rightly, that you should have had a policy of auctioning in 93, you should have had a policy.
No, sir.
In 93, there was no demand.
Not auctioning. Not auctioning. Non-development of coal blocks. This point number 8 talks about revenue loss to the exchequer due to non-development of coal blocks.
I'm sorry. I'm answering Arnab's question. I am saying that, for example, you can say that we believe that for the last 10 years, the policy which has this should have been like this. But you should not say that a loss has occurred.
So where is the sincerity?
Nobody has ever evaluated.
Sir, where is the sincerity? The Ministry of Coal has informed the committee, and I'm reading once again, that they have not conducted any inquiry regarding employees who have retired or taken voluntary retirement from the Ministry of Coal, Coal India, CMP, DIL, and have joined the companies which have been offered coal blocks. This only highlights, Dr. Singhvi, the glaring potential conflict of interest and the government's refusal to conduct an inquiry into this. I'm sorry to say, Dr. Singhvi, is absolutely baffling. Baffling.
Two things. You are now raising a different thing.
No, it is in the report. I'm raising the report.
Arnab, where I believe you may have some resonance, and I may partly agree. The government of India has a clear policy, which is known as the cooling off policy or a cooling off period. Now, I don't know what kind of officers are covered by it, and maybe some
but there's no inquiry. There's no inquiry.
But I entirely agree with you.
There's no
that's
inquiry.
a different issue. No, the inquiry was there. There was an inquiry in terms of selection. Committees sat, they evaluated as to whether Arnab Goswami will get the coal or Abhishek Singhvi. That inquiry was there. What you are now saying is something important but different. And that is that when Abhishek Singhvi got the coal, certain members of the government, erstwhile government public sector company, joined.
Sir,
that could be wrong. I believe it is wrong, but there are certain cooling off periods.
My last question, which is very important.
Very important. Transparency was there in allocation.
No, my very important point is, no, I don't think there was transparency.
There's absolutely no transparency.
Not even in your regime.
In
not
my
even in your
regime, there's no demand. I just explained to you.
No.
The allocatees themselves selected the coal block.
No, sir. You have been rebutted by that.
No, that's not true. What the government has told this committee, please read the report.
Sir, you're saying the report is bunkum?
No, I'm not saying that. The government has told this committee, we do not have screening committee minutes, so we cannot give you anything.
No, I have one question.
I'm explaining to you, the screening committee process started only in 2003.
I have one question.
Before that, there was to be one or two applicants.
I have one question for you, Abhishek Singhvi, please take note. I have one last question to the BJP representative tonight. I read from the report, another coal block, Brahmadi in Jharkhand, allocated on 1st 9/1999. You were in power? In 1990, to Castron Mining Limited for steel sector, although all milestone reported to be completed, etc., etc. The question is why a coal block was allotted to a company which has failed to set up end-use projects for 13 years needs to be answered.
At that time, they gave a mining plan. They should have cancelled it since 2004. After the 5 years period was over, which you are allowed. Why did they cancel it in the last 9 years?
Dr. Singh, I have a simple answer, Arnab. Yes. I have a simple answer. I condemn an allocation to a proven non-performing company.
Proven now.
But nepotistic. But I will go further, Arnab. I will go further. I would condemn the same kind of allocation if it happened in 2008 or 2006 during Congress rule. Because what you are giving an example is indefensible. Individual cases of culpability.
Arnab, in the 6 years we were in power, the total allocation was 1.39 billion tons to the private sector. In the 4 years, 4 to 8, they have allocated 15.5 billion.
Sir, if that is the case, I have breaking news, Dr. Singhvi. I have just been informed by a legal reporter, Ridham Anand Bhardwaj, that the government affidavit on this matter clarifies that the procedure followed by Coal Ministry was proper and was in accordance with guidelines framed by the ministry. You are saying you accept a mistake, but in court you are going to say something else.
And you see what the CAG said. And you see what the CAG said.
That's not what I said at all. No. 1 minute. 1 minute. What I said was that the example you gave of a 99 allotment is completely condemnable because you are giving coal to a proven non-performing entity for 13 years.
Dr. Singhvi,
if that exact example is duplicated in our period, I would have no hesitation in condemning it.
But Dr. Singhvi, the proven part is after 5 years they failed to do it.
By Ridham Anand Bhardwaj. That affidavit is something else.
No, but Dr. Singhvi, in 99 it was allotted, they had 5 years to implement it. After 2004 it got proven that they have failed to implement. What have you done in the 9 years since then?
You are demanding the Prime Minister's resignation.
We 100% believe the Prime Minister's sincerity was evident in the CAG report. It has been double proved by the standing committee. The government
Is
is
this a
on
one-day
affidavit.
affair? One-day affair, Tuesday, second day of Parliament, there's a lot of action. By tomorrow, day after, truce, behind-the-scenes action, the controversy dies
Absolutely
down.
no
You will
truce.
buy peace.
Absolutely no truce. The government stands exposed. They told the standing committee we have no screening committee records.
Right.
They have told the standing committee that we cannot provide you any data.
Well.
Which is why this statement has come in. From 93 to 2003, there was not enough demand. The demand was generated after prices rose.
I will tell you
and then they kept.
I believe in collective wisdom.
Yeah.
I am a great believer in collective wisdom.
Well, the CAG and his five deputies came out with this
may I
report.
tell you that in the short period that you were a government NDA, there were the following individuals: Dilip Ray, Naveen Patnaik, Rangarajan Kumaramangalam, N.T. Shanmugam, Syed Shahnawaz Hussain, Ramvilas Paswan, Lal Krishna Advani, Uma Bharti, Kariya Munda, Mamta Banerjee, Ravi Shankar Prasad. All held the position of coal minister. All collectively never saw through this lack of transparency in procedure. What are you saying, Piyush Goyal?
Arnab, hang on.
Common sense tells you that they must all have seen.
By the way, all of them, so many of them in 6 years, only allocated 1.39 billion tons
what?
To the private sector.
By what procedure?
Because there was no demand.
By a non-transparent
No,
procedure.
by a procedure by which they had to find a coal block, come to the government with a mining plan.
Last word.
Based on that, they were allotted a mine.
Last word to
It is
Dr.
only
Singh.
after 2003 that the prices increased and therefore demand increased as acknowledged by the government of the day.
Last word.
And the funny part of this whole thing is that exactly under the same policy, the same procedure, but with an increasing amount of scrutiny, the successor government kept allocating. And while the BJP finds it fundamentally a watershed moment in 2003 and prior, it finds a different watershed post 2003.
Well, the CAG has already highlighted how there was a difference.
I find it selective. I find it Alice in Wonderland to suggest.
You repeating the same thing, Dr. Singhvi. You used Alice in Wonderland too many times. I suggest we had some better phrases, turn of phrases. You are so good in English. You use some better phrases. This one has become very old.
Absolutely, selectivity. Another word for this kind of selectivity is opportunism.
It's not selectivity. It's based on your.
It's self-serving selectivity and choosing your own thing.
This selectivity is based on your CAG's report about how you ran the screening committee, about how, despite your own insistence to bring in transparency and bring in competitive bidding, for 5 years you slept over that.
I'll tell you,
and
Arnab,
surreptitiously handed out 39 billion tons of coal
on this, I don't know. I don't know whether it's obscurantism. I don't know whether it's opportunism. I don't know whether it's obfuscation. We'll debate that later, and we'll quote more literature in the future. Abhishek Manu Singhvi and Piyush Goyal, pleasure debating with you on this issue, which is going to remain a big subject in Parliament, it seems, this week. Thank you, gentlemen.